And welcome to another session of the Judges Corner. I'm Ron Forsthoefel, retired judge of the Ashland County Common Pleas Court, Ashland, Ohio. And this session will discuss briefly document security and integrity before we move on to a demonstration and further review of the four PDF annotation applications we highlighted in the prior session. Again, trying to keep these sessions down to 5 minutes. So as you work through your documents, you should always be sure to flatten all your signatures and annotations that you've made to a PDF document, including the signature applications. Say you had a defendant signing a waiver of rights document in the courtroom and they did so on a touchscreen Surface tablet, applied the signature electronically. You want to make sure that you flatten that before you file that document electronically with the clerk of courts. And you're going to maintain custody of that document, so it should be relatively secure, and you're going to be responsible for protecting those signatures. What if you have a document that you've signed or you're going to circulate for signature before you sign it, and you want to make sure that the contents of that document aren't altered, that document maintains its integrity? Well, most applications, if you're using a licensed form of the application, have additional security measures available to them to allow you to lock down the document further through password protection and to limit the extent to which people can make changes to those documents. Now, in the four applications that I reviewed, most of those applications that are free versions, with the exception of my Foxit Phantom software application, have security measures available in the paid or licensed versions of the software, but they don't in the free versions. That's one of the things you have to pay for, is to have the ability to provide or apply that security. So I'm not going to be able to show you in some of those apps what some of those methods will be, but I will show you in Foxit Phantom. So first, starting with the drawboard, the free application doesn't really have any ability to create final versions or protected versions where you can apply a password to it. Neither does Adobe Acrobat Reader DC. You will see here that there is a protection functionality in that window, but it says add. What that means, to add it to this free version, you have to pay for the licensed version, and that's where it's taking me, is to do an annual subscription. So we don't necessarily want to be doing that. I've already got a paid application. Here's where a free version of PDF Reader by Zoto gives you a little something the others don't. Under this action window, there is a security function. You can encrypt the PDF file, or if you get an encrypted one, do a decryption. And there is the ability to apply some security by creating a document password that will encrypt the document. And if it's overwritten, if the file already exists, how do you put the encrypted document in your file location and without overwriting the original file? And it lets you designate that. So there is an ability to do that here in Zoto, but it's somewhat limited. Now, going to the Foxit Phantom software application, there is a security or protect menu, and we can password protect, we can security protect, we can set up our security properties, we can restrict access, and we can do a security watermark. There are all kinds of protection redactions. But simple way is to just password protect, and we can input a password, confirm it. Once we've done our password input, we can add a specific document restriction, And under that permission, I haven't set a password, so it's not letting me manipulate these files because I really, well, let me just do a password setting here. So I can do a password to open the document and then forward that password on to whoever I want to authorize to open it, send that password to them by a separate email so it doesn't come with the document. I can just put a password on the document itself and give them that password to open the document, or restrict what they can do with it. I can refuse to let them print it. I can refuse to allow them to change the document, but I can let them copy it. I could let them at least fill in forms and sign existing signature fields, or I could let them comment without changing the underlying text. So that would allow them to apply annotations to the document, and that way we could capture signatures if necessary, with protecting the underlying text of the document itself. And so there are some security settings that you can put in a document like that to protect it. And that's something you shouldn't really have to use too much of if you're going to remain in possession of the document and process it through to e-filing. Once it hits the clerk of courts and it's on the document and that image is there for everybody to view, it's not going to change in the clerk of court's records, their image, and so it becomes a final version. So that's just a quick mention of security, and if you need to consider that, or if attorneys have concerns, there are ways those documents can be locked down. You're probably going to need a licensed version of a product, but there are ways you can do that. So in the course of collecting signatures, you can protect the integrity of the underlying document itself if necessary, and that's a concern. Thank you for your time. Have a good day.